Hey everyone, welcome back to Magically Unstable. I'm Kurt.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are here to talk about Disney.
And our anxiety.
And that's why we're magically unstable.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's do that one more time.
Or we can just keep that whole thing.
Oh my God, that made me lightheaded. Oh my God.
I'm Kurt.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are here to talk about Disney.
And our anxiety.
And that's why we're
magically unstable.
All right, everybody, welcome back to this week's episode of Magically Unstable. All right, so this week, how's everybody doing? Nick, how's your week going?
Honestly, I don't even remember this week. So it probably wasn't bad. The weather here has been really great. I don't think I've had any crazy stories. I went to Animal Kingdom to film.
Nice.
And it was fucking insane yesterday. And I wanted to fucking fly off of Everest because it was so busy. But
did you get run over by anybody's scooties or ankle checked by some strollers?
I did get ankle checked, and I played chicken with a lady in a dying scooter. I forgot that happened. We were in a super busy walkway, and this bitch is coming towards me in her fucking bright red scooty. And either way, traffic is trying to fly around her. And because I was the first person that got up to her, all of the traffic started flying around me. And I was stuck in this vortex of me and this woman in the scooty just walking closer and closer together to see who was going to break.
Oh my God.
She won. She definitely won.
Yeah, because she's in a motorized vehicle.
Exactly. But she was only going less than 0.5 miles per hour because it was dying.
According to Nicole, she had two vessels to take care of.
What?
Her body and her scooty.
Yes.
That's all though. It's been chill as hell. The weather has been great in Florida, but spring breakers are coming, which fuck every single one of you. So yeah. That's all I've got going on.
Nice. Nicole, how's your week?
It's a little bit of a fever dream. It hasn't been bad. I mean, I can say that. I can break my bad streak. But yeah, I mean, today just consisted of I'm building a fence because I really, really, really don't want my roommate's cat, who loves being on the deck, to roll off the deck. And I know it's not my problem, but it's my problem. So.
Nah, you would definitely have cat death on your hands if that happened.
I would have Cat run away because he would just live in the outdoors then, and he's too much of a little baby for that. So
yeah, can't have that.
So we're building a fence for him. Got some new nail polish.
Nice.
I've been obsessively painting my nails with that. So yeah, that's
nice.
It hasn't been terrible.
Oh God,
nice,
very nice. Now, I've been going off screen, so I don't think my mic will pick it up.
Heard.
I'm sure it will pick it up.
Same.
We'll see, bitch.
Kurt, how's your week?
That's nice.
That's mine. So.
Yeah, Kurt.
Yeah, Kurt.
What you been doing?
Kurt, how's
my week is great.
Do we want to talk about it?
No, I don't. I feel like Nicole has passed her bad week streak on to me.
Had to
somehow.
Go somewhere.
I feel like you did some weird cat pee voodoo magic with your suitcase and gave it to me.
No, you watched me. You watched me drag my suitcase down the stairs. Yeah, I guess I could elaborate a little bit on the cat pee suitcase.
You did. The whole last episode we talked about your pissy suitcase.
It's fine.
I also did not see you drag your suitcase down the stairs because I live in California.
I was on FaceTime with both of you, so...
No, you weren't.
No, you called us after you threw it in the dumpster.
Oh, no.
You FaceTimed us on your manic drive to Walmart.
You were already in the car by the time you started talking to us.
I was absolutely on the phone with you when I threw the thing.
No, you were not.
Weren't.
I told you it's been
Are you sure it wasn't
fucking fever dream?
Are you sure it wasn't Steph?
Maybe it was. I really don't know anymore.
Was not us.
Well,
great. Well, it wasn't me. Yeah, my week was not the best week in the world, but you know what? It's okay. It's only going to get better from here. And working through some stuff and gonna figure some shit out, and then it's gonna be great.
You hope. That's what I said the past 7 weeks. So
no,
and it
it's
just
gonna
got
be good.
projectively worse.
It'll be fine. Everything is in my control, and I can only control what I can. So anything that I can control, I'm gonna make it a positive thing. So it's gonna be great.
You're just in that driver's seat, not in that passenger seat, just along for the ride,
You know where
man.
I
Like
was?
you just gotta cruise.
I was
right?
in the trunk.
No, you were in the driver's seat with the gas pedal busted off.
And the brake pedal just missing. And the car falling apart.
Exactly. But we're all good now.
Kurt, I'm glad you're
Kurt, you will
in
be
a
good.
functioning car.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move into housekeeping.
Oh, yay. Here's my weekly time to sing to everybody. But I did not bring in singing, so I'm just not going to sing. But if you're new, I usually go like housekeeping, like literally not on beat or tune, just whatever I want to sing. But if you're new, hi, welcome. Welcome to Magically Unstable. Housekeeping is the part where we talk about all things Disney news. So today, let's go ahead and start with, I feel like the most exciting news should be last. And Kurt, I'm looking in your soul, and I feel like your news is the most exciting. So maybe we should start with Nicole's news for Disney Company.
I'm for that.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. So, as of March 11th, 2021, Disney announced that there's this thing called Magic Mobile Service coming to Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
It's like Magic Bands, but for your phone. So you don't have to have a Magic Band. You can literally, it's just all going to be in the app. I don't know why they couldn't have used like the literal Walt Disney World My Experience app, but whatever. It's going to be new and redesigned to be able to scan you in with your phone into the park. So there's going to be no use for Magic Bands anymore, because I don't think they wanted to get rid of the magical little ba-dings for scanning your Magic Bands. Yeah. That's all.
That's
There's
exciting.
really nothing
It's-
like super exciting happening that I didn't want to steal from you guys. So
I mean, that's exciting.
yeah.
That is. I mean, I'm hoping, like, I'm not like the biggest Magic Band person. Like, I just have a lot because of 2 people in my household have traveled to Disney and stayed on resorts, so we just have a whole bunch of those. But like, it'll be a little sad if they completely like phase out the Magic Band.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it would be nice to have the option to use my phone if I want
sure.
it.
Yeah,
For
I
sure.
hope they
But
don't
I like
like
it.
magical express it and just be like, it's done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
they'll keep
just-
that option
yeah.
open. They're just trying to look at things like from the pandemic standpoint, and the less touch contact that they have with things, the better.
But it's the same like, I feel like I touch my phone more than I touch my Magic
Right.
Band.
Yeah,
This is-
and it's
this
like on
is-
my face.
This is Disney rolling something new out, though. Just
That's true.
so
Although it is really smart, because I know how many people like either forget the Magic Band is their ticket or forget their ticket, and everyone has their phone. So
Yeah.
like no one's ever going to panic about not having a ticket to get into the park.
Or like when we were there and Peter forgot his Magic Band at the hotel. And, you know, he had to like go to the wait in line at the ticket kiosk and try to get it
Yep.
arranged and get his ticket. And then he had to use his ticket the entire day and like make sure he didn't lose his ticket. So yeah, it will be helpful in that sense. I don't think that they'll, I mean, who the fuck knows, but I don't think that they'll get rid of Magic Bands altogether, because, you know, they sell those like Dooney and Burke ones for like hundreds of dollars, and
And
I feel
Yeah.
like people would be
buy
really
them.
pissed.
So
Yeah.
Right. And like I was looking today, they released their exclusive Flower and Garden Magic Band. They released their Flower and Garden Magic Band, and like I feel like if they were going to discontinue it, they wouldn't continue releasing these new like exclusive Magic
Right.
Bands, because
Yeah.
that would be like a dick move.
Well, and
which wouldn't shock me with Disney.
I
but
also, did they say anything about releasing it for Disneyland?
I didn't see it. It was on Walt Disney World News today, or WDW.
I'll wait until my housekeeping to bring that up, but I feel like I have something that kind of goes hand in hand with that.
Yeah, that's fair. They didn't specify, so I'm gonna say no with Disneyland. They just haven't specified. It literally just says Walt Disney World Resort. Oh, it just is allowing guests to enter parks with phones and other mobile devices. So I think it's going to be an and
Great.
or.
Great.
Which,
That's
nice.
exciting.
Nice.
Yeah. I know there's been a few times too where like what festival, Nicole, that was a trip with you where like my Magic Band, I hadn't noticed it had fallen off because it broke. Like the little tong things came completely out and my Magic Band was just gone. That happened to someone else in our group too. And we were like, the fuck are we supposed to do? We don't have our tickets on us. And yeah. So that would be nice. Cool.
Nice.
So since, I mean, my news is exciting, but it's not as exciting as Kurt's. So we can go with Walt Disney World, which I know we've speculated on this podcast before when Remy's Ratatouille Adventure will be opening. But we finally got a date. And it is not what I expected at all for this attraction. It will be opening October 1st this year, so for the anniversary celebration.
Yay!
I'm like a little irritated about it.
No way.
Remy the Ratatouille.
Remy! Yeah, but it's a little weird to me because it's just like done and it's just like chilling. So it was done in like February. There were people walking without hard hats on and it was like completely done. So it's weird to me that they're just going to kind of let it chill unless maybe they're enhancing the set still, like maybe painting it. I don't know.
I wonder if they're trying to wait until they can like basically max capacity the ride.
My other thing was I'm wondering if, okay, Remy's done. They're going to put all of those people who were working on Remy, well, if they can, I don't know if that's how it works, but all of those people might go to get Tron and Guardians done, and they will open all 3 attractions on the 1st to try and, like, disperse crowds.
That would make the most sense.
Yes, because there is still going to be capacity limits. I have a bubble in my throat. There's still going to be capacity limits for the anniversary. I think actually throughout this whole year, which I hope Disney sticks with that because it would be really nice to be able to go to the anniversary celebration like on the first day and not have every fucking person in the world there. But we will see. But it would kind of make sense to, I guess, make the anniversary just super special and super exclusive, being like, all of these new rides are, going to be debuting. And I don't know if that's their plan with it, but it's just kind of like, that would be a nice perk for like Florida residents that are just chilling and just kind of throw us a bone every now and then. But I guess not. I guess it's an anniversary thing. So, I thought that was great, though, that we finally have a date and, like, Disney has actually put something in stone for the first time in, like, a really long time.
Right.
But my news is not as exciting as Kurt's news. So, Kurt.
Last but not least, take it away.
Yeah.
My news, it's not a long piece of news because it kind of piggybacks off of my news last week. I feel like every week I come in with like a little bit more information on the reopening of the Disneyland Resort. So I mentioned last week that the governor of California, he like revamped his theme park reopenings. So early this week, or I guess when you're listening to this early last week, the Disney CEO Bob Chapek had a meeting with, I believe it was a meeting with investors, and came out with a statement saying that they're eyeing Disneyland Resort to open in late April, so later next month, so about a month and a half from now. But they won't come out with a specific date, obviously not yet. I know that they're working closely with health professionals and scientists and making sure that everything is like top notch, like super up to date and things like that. But I also have started to see, I saw last time when I was in Downtown Disney earlier this week, they're also starting to train cast members, ticket kiosk cast members again at the Disneyland, like physical Disneyland Resort. So that was super exciting to see them back getting trained. And I think that based on what he said and kind of based on what you said, Nicole, I think that they're going to bring more Walt Disney World technology into Disneyland when they reopen. I feel like they've taken this time, and he said that they've taken this forced hiatus, he called it, this forced hiatus to enhance guest experience in streamlining technology throughout the park. And I mean, at Disneyland, you were always able to have your ticket on your phone. So that was one thing that was kind of nice about the Disneyland ticket system, is that everything was connected to your phone through the My Disney Experience app. So if, we didn't have our annual pass card, we could always take out our phone and our annual pass barcode would be there and we could get scanned in. But I'm really interested to see ride details that they've updated. They said that, they've been spending time enhancing like immersive experience. So I know that it's been publicized that they revamped Snow White's now Enchanted Tale, used to be Scary Adventures. They revamped that ride and made it completely new. Marvel Avengers Campus is opening. So I'm just really interested to see what else they've worked on and what else is going on, and what they've been doing with this time. And I'm just really excited for the Haunted Mansion to be open again, because it was open last year, but then it closed at the end of January to transition like back from holiday into the normal version of the ride. And then it didn't open because it was like an extended refurbishment, and then the park closed. So I have not been on a normal Haunted Mansion ride since the summer, like late summer of 2019.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm very excited for that ride to open. And hopefully that will open when the park opens, whenever that will be. Who knows? By the time this comes out, maybe we'll already have a date. It seems like every week something is happening.
And for Disney to, I feel like this whole pandemic, when people have been asking about Disneyland, Disney, like the company's been like, who is she? Who's Disneyland?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we've never heard of her. So to actually be like, we are confident that by the end of April, Disneyland will be open again is like huge.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, and then you'll also get to like kind of gauge what they're doing with the Touch of Disney event, and that'll be exciting to see if you can see any visible changes. Obviously not on Buena Vista Street because that's like your second home.
Literally. Yeah, I'm going to a Touch of Disney this next week, so make sure you guys tune into our episode next week, and I will tell you all about my experience at a Touch of Disney.
Yay, great. Well, I feel like this is just a pretty cool week for housekeeping. Just seems like Disney is just really catapulting forward, and it's kind of scary. Like every week something new is happening in the company, and it's just, I guess we're in for a wild ride.
It's good for our housekeeping, but
yeah.
Hold on to your hats and glasses.
So that's all for housekeeping. So let's go ahead and take our first break, refill our waters, and we will see you all when we get back.
Nice.
All right, everyone, now that we're stopped, let's take a minute to shout out to our socials.
Since you've made it this far, maybe subscribe to our podcast. You can subscribe wherever you're listening, like Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or whatever you're listening on right now.
You can also follow us over on Instagram and TikTok at Foreverland Fairy Tales.
And most importantly, if you want more Disney content or if you want to listen to our podcast on YouTube, make sure you find us there. We're at Foreverland Fairy Tales, and just remember to subscribe.
All right, let's get back to the episode. All right, and we are back. Let's head right into this week's video, which was a POV of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
I always get like tongue-tied when I say
I don't know
runaway.
if you could see the way I had to like form my mouth.
Runaway Railway.
I like had to like pull the corners of my mouth back so I didn't fuck it up for like the 80th time. Runaway Railway.
It's a hard one, man. It's a hard one.
It is. Here at Foreverland, we started calling it RAR.
We had to. We were like, I'm not fucking saying that. Like, I can't.
So Nick, I mean, this it kind of happened at Walt Disney World. This is the Walt Disney World version. So why don't you take it away? Let us know all the things that you know.
Yay! I'm so excited for this section. Primarily because I loved Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I loved its predecessor just as much as I love the new ride that has replaced it. So I'm super excited. I figured if we kind of want to know the history of this ride, which is not a very extensive history, it's only been released for a year. And I want to say it was released like right before the pandemic.
It was. And you know what a great thing about our video this week is, our ride video, is that all three of us were on the ride together when it was filmed.
Yeah, so that is very exciting.
So it's like you're actually sitting on the ride with all of us.
Lucky you.
Which, yeah, you would not be very lucky because we're very annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, so to get into this ride, I think it's super important to talk about how it got there. And if you are a Disney person, or maybe you're not, and you just like know shit about Disney, you probably know about this ride that I'm going to talk about. So if you went to Hollywood Studios before like 2017, you probably went on the Great Movie Ride, which like my whole face just like lit up thinking about this ride because it really was a special attraction. It was an amazing ride, and I found out in my research that it actually was like the inspiration for MGM Studios. Which, if you guys didn't know, MGM Studios was the name of Hollywood Studios for like the longest time.
It will forever be the name.
I know. I still like struggle with it sometimes when I'm like, wait, what? Hollywood Studios? Hollywood Studios, I think that name was changed in like the last 10 years. Maybe even like 8 years. So it's relatively
it's whenever
new.
They removed the big Sorcerer Mickey hat.
Yeah. Oh, sad. So, unfortunately, when MGM Studios debuted the Great Movie Ride, they just didn't have the technology ready for it yet. So while it was meant to be like the main feature of MGM, it didn't open until 1989. And it was the resident of the, it's a replica of the Chinese theater. It's called the Grauman's Chinese Theater. So when you walk into Hollywood Studios now, right down that main road, you'll see this big, beautiful building. And right inside of that, the Great Movie Ride was resident until August 13th, 2017. So, like, really not that long ago that this ride existed.
The only thing missing from the replica is all the homeless people camping outside.
Wow.
From the real building.
Honestly, some people that go to Disney could probably replace them. So
probably.
Fuck, that was dark, bro.
Hey.
So just to kind of talk about the ride, I don't want to get really far into it because it was kind of an experience that like you just kind of had to see. So if you want to know what it's like, I highly suggest watching a POV of it because it's kind of hard to explain. So this ride was kind of like no other ride that had been in Disney before. It lasted 18 minutes. So you were on a ride for 18 minutes. Like, just picture that right now on any Disney ride other than the fucking Carousel of Progress. But this was an actual, like, ride.
Or the Safari.
That's true. Yeah, the safari as well. So the thing about this ride is on the Carousel Progress and the safari ride, they only did one party at a time. And Kurt, I don't know if you remember waiting for this ride. Like, the wait was always crazy because you would wait for 20 minutes and then move like a huge amount of space. So it was kind of like waiting for a show. Luckily enough, through the queue, they had a ton of old, like, authentic movie props and wardrobe, which was awesome. Like, I can't remember some of the things, but I want to say Judy Garland's dress from The Wizard of Oz was like on display in the Chinese theater for this ride. So it was a bunch of stuff like that. It was super cool. And it made the wait go by a lot better because you got to read about some of these movies if you hadn't seen them before, all that great stuff. So once you got up there, you kind of had like a host. Like, you would get on this tram and your host would be like, I'm going to take you on a tour through the old movies of time. And it was a real person. And they would interact with the animatronics. Like, obviously it was a script. Like, they were talking with the animatronics and then something happens and like the host goes away. And then you're on like this fucking ride with these animatronics like talking to you, and then the host comes back. So it was kind of like, I guess the safari ride, because you have the cast member that's like interacting with you, but it was also kind of like a show because there was like stunts, and I think there was like there was like smoke with the Wicked Witch of the West. Is it the West? Mm-hmm. The green one? Whatever. Mm-hmm. With the Wicked Witch of the West, like, she like blows up in smoke and shit. And it was just really a really fun ride. And it had animatronics from The Wizard of Oz. That was a huge one. Raiders of the Lost Ark with Indiana Jones. It had like the ball rolling scene. And like Mary Poppins and Alien. And it was just like unlike any other ride that is in existence today. So it truly is a missed classic ride and was one of my favorites while it was in operation.
Yeah, I had never seen it, or like I had never been on that ride. So in preparation of this segment for the podcast, I actually watched an entire ride through of the Great Movie Ride, and that's an extensive ride.
It's so much. Wow, I didn't know that you didn't go when we were in high school.
No, I did not go. I don't remember actually going to. I feel like a lot of my like early years are like a fever dream. Like, I don't really remember going to Hollywood Studios in high school.
That's fair.
Like, one of my memories from high school going is like sitting on the monorail.
That is totally fair.
But yeah, so it's a very extensive ride, but it was beautiful. The one thing that I will say is that it was really weird to me how like the cast member switched out with like another actor cast member from like a 1920s gangster movie, and I was like, what's going on? You have this 1920s gangster movie like actor cast member talking to you through like the pyramids of Egypt. And it like did not like click. And I'm sure that it has to be like, you have to be on the ride to really like get the full experience. But watching it for the first time, I was like, am I on drugs? Am I drunk? What's happening?
Nope, you're all there, baby. So yeah, the Great Movie Ride was really a special ride, and to this day, like, I don't think there's anything quite like it, and I'm not sure if there will be anything quite like it again. But with that being said, I have zero hate for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It is legit one of the best rides in like all of the Disney parks, and I absolutely fucking love it. So I'm going to do like just a quick preview of the ride, just to give you an idea if you haven't watched it, if you haven't been on it, what to expect, but to also let Kurt and Nicole share their perspectives. I don't want to talk too long about it. So this ride is very unique. If you've been on Rise of the Resistance, you will know the style of the ride. It is trackless. The only thing that is different is I feel like there's a lot more I guess, moving parts to it. Like, I know Rise of the Resistance have all of these, like, giant props that are doing a lot of movement. But with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, it really is about, like, screens and moving animations and, like, giving you, like, a 4D sense of, like, touch and listening and all of that crazy stuff. And just showing this transformation of a set that I've just never seen before. So
it feels less rehearsed as a ride, if that makes sense. I feel like if you've been on both rides, you kind of will understand that. Like, it feels less rehearsed than Rise of the Resistance.
Sure. Yes, I totally get that.
Yeah.
And I think also, like, with Rise, like, that whole pre-show too just, like, adds a whole nother level of, like, your ride actually starts with Rise of the Resistance, like, when you get in line. Where Mickey and Minnie's is totally, like, you go through the line and it's all of the new animation. So if you haven't seen that, it's, like, Disney reanimated Goofy, Mickey, Minnie, all of them, but, like, stole designs from the past and, like, what they had done with the past, and they made it new. And I don't know, you'll just have to look it up. It's hard to explain. So it's really cute, and you're on a train with Goofy, and Goofy, obviously, like, Mickey causes the train to, like, go off course, and because Goofy is Goofy, you go through all of these crazy landscapes. You go underwater, you go in a desert, you go in a city, you dance with Daisy, and then you finally get to a factory where you're about to get crushity crushed, and Mickey saves you. And in that moment, like, I just want to share this because it's super cool. You're, like, about to go through this big machine in this giant factory, and Mickey saves you, and your vehicle turns, and while it's turning, the entire set, like, starts to move and transform all of these pieces, and it turns into a completely different scene of, like, you going to a park. And I just think it's so creative. It's so cute. The storyline is just so fun. It's such a inventive way to bring Mickey and Minnie into a ride that isn't cheesy. I cry every single time at the end of the ride. I just think it's a huge success, and it is such a wholesome ride, and I could ride it if I had the choice. It's always a do it 2 or 3 times, just because it's such a feel good experience. And you just have to, if you're ever able to experience it, I would highly suggest it. It's so cute and so fun. And I don't want to ruin all of it because you have a POV that you can watch of ours, so make sure to check out our YouTube to see every little detail that I had missed. But let's go ahead and jump into Nicole. What are some of your facts about this ride? What did you find out about Mickey and Minnie's?
So I kind of want to reverse back to the Great Movie Ride, whatever. I haven't ridden that one before, obviously, because the first time I went to Disney was in 2018 as an adult. So I don't know if it's like a well-known fact because I've never done it before. I didn't know much about it. But in the gangster scene, I just thought it was funny because I'm such a murdery person. I don't know.
Wait,
I'm
you murder
here like Dahmer
you murder
again.
Or you like murder or you have been murdered?
Like listening to it. I'm just so nosy.
I was like, because I like true crime.
Right.
Like, does that mean I like murder?
I get, okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
You definitely...
Not great with words. They're not my friends.
You hit it on the head. You're like... You're nosy, and you like to be in the know about morbid
I'm very
things.
nosy.
So
You're
yeah,
definitely
makes sense.
a murdery person.
Yes, you are. Good.
Yes. Yes. So in the gangster scene, it has a license plate, and the license plate number's what? What? Do you know what I'm going to say?
I was laughing about... Yes,
just that I'm a murdery
just
person.
Keep talking. Just keep going. I'm good. I'm good.
What does it say?
Okay. It says 021429. Anybody know the relevance of that date?
1 2
Nope, it's 021429.
021 42. Okay, so 02 is February. I already
Is
fucking
it the
forgot.
day? Is that when the prohibition happened?
Is it
Damn.
Walt
Nope.
Disney's birthday?
Worse.
Worse,
No.
the Great Depression.
The Holocaust.
Oh my God.
Worse. Worse.
Worse than that.
Worse. Probably not worse than the Holocaust. It's not worse than the Holocaust. I take that back. Don't Gina me. It's not worse than the Holocaust.
What is it?
It features that the Valentine's Day massacre of
Oh, and
1929.
wasn't that in Chicago? The gangsters that blasted
It's in Lincoln
Yeah.
Park.
That's funny.
Yeah, I just thought that was funny. That was my fun fact. I don't have any fun facts about Mickey's Runaway Railway because I wasn't sure what we were hitting on the
That's
head.
fair.
So
I think
that was my
I
fun fact
know-
of the day.
I think I know. I don't know the specifics of it, but I do know that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is one of the highest hidden Mickey count number on the ride. And it's so funny because I've only been able to find like one hidden Mickey, but apparently they're like in every single room, like all over the place.
I think when we were on it, I think I found 4 of them. And then I also noticed that when you're going, I forget exactly where it is, but when you're going through a couple tunnels, there are like random like dates, like 1931 or something, I don't really know, or 1929? 1928. And like
Massacre.
one is like for Mickey's birthday, one is for Walt's birthday. They have other things that like talk about, they have like a sign that like references the Great Movie Ride
Yes.
in the carnival scene. There's a lot of hidden gems in that ride. It's pretty cool.
That is cool. I do also think in the queue there are nods to the Great Movie Ride, and I'm not sure what they are, and I'm thinking about the queue and I can't see anything in my mind's eye right now, but
They even
I love
redesigned
that.
like the chandeliers and stuff to be like Mickey Mouse.
oh wow, that's cool. I that's so cool. I love that. I love that ride. So that's another thing too. You have to ride it to try and find all of the nods to the Great Movie Ride and all the hidden Mickeys. Because clearly I've ridden it like probably 7 times now, and I've only found like 1 or 2.
I am like a hidden Mickey fiend, and it is like the first thing that I look for in any type of Disney setting.
Do you remember when I found that hidden Mickey in the Splash Mountain queue and then I almost fell over the side?
Yeah. Yep.
I almost plummeted to my death. Good times. Okay. Oh, no,
I
go
will
ahead,
say
sorry.
though,
No,
sorry,
you're good.
I have
You're
one
good.
more. Very short. My favorite part of that ride is the waterfall scene, and I'm not going to elaborate anymore. Just watch the POV.
Nothing can stop us now. Fucking love that.
It is absolutely one of my, if not my favorite ride in all of Disney World.
So good.
Yeah.
So then, Kurt, let us know. So it's being released in Disneyland. So let us know about that.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about a little bit of, there's not a lot of news, but it is being built in Toontown here at Disneyland. And it's really fun. You can see the construction from one of the overpasses when you're leaving the Disneyland Resort. So they're currently working on it still. The release date is just 2022. That's as much as we know. But I think because I've ridden it already in Walt Disney World, I know that it's basically going to be an exact replica of the ride. I am, however, interested in the small details that they're going to bring in to make it fit in to Toontown rather than like walking into a theater. So I know I've seen some concept art. So it's basically the same idea. You're still going to be walking into a theater. You're still going to be walking into a Mickey short. All of that is going to be the same. But the outside, it's really cool. So the Toontown area has like these like rolling hills like Hollywood, and it says Toontown, like where like the Hollywood sign would be. So they're building it like kind of adjacent to that, and it's gonna be like it's gonna be designed as a movie theater within Toontown. So it's gonna look like the exterior is gonna look like something that you would see kind of like at a Hollywood cartoon version of it, like a Mickey cartoon version of it. So you're still gonna be walking into the Toontown Theater. That's just kind of as much as I know. But yeah, like I said, they have nods to the Great Movie Ride. They have, different things that kind of correlate with MGM Studios like history. So I'm very interested to see what they're going to pull from Disneyland or from Toontown to kind of tie it in with Disneyland a little bit more. So yeah, but I'm pretty excited.
If you think about, well, first of all, I would like to say fuck you for still having a Toontown. I was so disappointed the first time I went back to Disney World after they had gotten rid of Toontown, and it was a long period of time. And I was so excited. I ran to go to Mickey's house, and I was like, what the fuck is this storybook fucking circus bullshit?
Yeah, Toontown survived here at Disneyland.
But if you think about it, that fits perfectly in that spot. The animation, it'll be so great there. So that's super exciting.
I also feel like Toontown fits at Disneyland more than it fits at Disney World, solely for the fact that it's the original theme park. So I feel like it would make sense that Mickey and Minnie and everybody live in a land at that park. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm also very, very hopeful that they repainted everything in Toontown, because it was the most unloved part of Disneyland that you could ever it didn't look like it belonged in a Disney park. All the paint was super sun washed. It just looked really kind of run down. There was this weird trolley that was just stationary because it didn't work anymore. Also, unpopular opinion, I hope they closed Roger Rabbit Spin, because it's the stupidest ride I've ever been on in a Disney park. So yeah.
We've never been on Roger Rabbit Spin, but we also hope that it closed.
It's a terrible ride.
I have history with Roger Rabbit, and I'm traumatized by it. Yeah, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that's going to wrap up our point of view. Make sure you head over to our YouTube channel, Foreverland Fairy Tales, and check out our week's video. Let's head into our therapy session. So whose therapy session is it this week?
It's mine.
Wow, have fun editing that.
It's Nicole's. Get my eardrums blasted out. It'll be my fucking therapy session at the doctor's office with busted ass.
You won't be able to hear it.
That's true. You're right.
It's not like she just screams. She gets closer into the microphone and then screams.
I just want to be heard.
If you're listening and that's a complaint of yours, we understand you.
If that's a complaint of yours,
if that's the only complaint of, I think would probably have many complaints at this point.
Which I still haven't set up that hate mail email. It's coming, guys. I promise.
Well, we have to.
I'm gonna spam it. I have complaints.
Can we all email it ourselves and complain? I'll hate mail myself.
I'm gonna hate mail Kurt.
I'll just roast myself.
Whose $19 Fortnite card is this?
Jesus Christ! All right, Nicole, what is your therapy session?
Hate mail?
No, it can't be hate mail yet. My therapy session is, unlike Nick's unprecedented events with bathrooms, I want to talk about, it's going to be a good therapy session. It's not going to be, it's going to go shitty. It's going to, I feel it, but let's talk about bathrooms.
It is a bathroom.
Is.
That's
and
what
we all usually have pretty bad diarrhea when we're in the parks. So.
Yeah.
Or
we all have terrible IBS.
It's either that, it's never just a normal poop. It's never. It's always...
No, because you're at Disney and you're not eating things that are good for your gut.
Right. But it can work in both ways. You can either get the wild deer poops, which you know what I'm talking about, where you feel like you have to take a massive, massive dump.
And then it's a pellet.
I told you this was going to turn bad. And then it's just pellets. It's just pellets. But I wanted to talk about our favorite bathrooms. Our favorite bathrooms and our least favorite. This is going to be kind of a communal therapy session, I guess.
It's a communal bathroom session.
You know what, Nicole, as long as you go first, I'm going to have to think about this for a second. I use the bathrooms a lot in the park.
I know, same.
You do use the bathrooms a lot.
Okay, I'll go last.
Scenic. my favorite bathroom is, I think, in Galaxy's Edge. I really, they themed it inside and out. Most disappointed by the Toy Story bathrooms in Hollywood Studios. No, the Toy Story bathroom, super disappointing on the outside. No, on the inside, super well themed on the outside. But my favorite for like I need some time alone bathroom is the one. It's like in Tomorrowland. Okay. Stay with me. Tomorrowland, the bathroom next to the gift shop.
Which gift shop? That's the one where that fucking person vomited in, Nicole.
I understand that, but
next to anti-gravities.
It is the
I
worst
didn't
bathroom.
experience the poop. You see where my brain's at? I feel so fried right now. Oh my God. I didn't experience that vomit case. So that bathroom isn't tarnished for me. That and
that bathroom.
Rapunzel's bathroom. Those two bathrooms like hit it hard for me.
Rapunzel's bathroom would have been on my list for one of the best, but actually all Tomorrowland bathrooms would have been on my shit list. I need to think, though.
I feel like the Rapunzel bathroom is like good for theming. I feel like it's super busy, though.
It's
I feel
like the busiest.
Everybody goes to the Rapunzel bathrooms.
You want to know something that's great about that now is because of COVID, a lot of Small World line is like roped off to where you can't really get to the Rapunzel bathroom unless you like fight through a whole bunch of strollers for it. So it actually was not busy at all the last time I went into it.
I love that. I completely left out I touched on Hollywood Studios. I left out Animal Kingdom and
I thought you said Animal Kingdom. No,
I hit Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom. Epcot, haven't found a bad bathroom. I saw you. Ooh.
Well, I wanted to wait unless Kurt had more input because I'm going to do like a rapid fire.
Okay.
I've been thinking of like Disneyland bathrooms just because I've like frequented that park more than Walt Disney World. I can think of some Walt Disney World ones though. Like the ones in Epcot, I really like the ones that are inside the I don't even know what it's called. See, I'm bad at this. The where they have that show right now, that like presentation of the new fireworks show.
Oh, the experience. Yes.
There's like bathrooms in that building. I like those ones because it's air conditioning.
Yeah.
The Land Pavilion bathroom.
It's terrible. It is terrible. All right. I'm just gonna get into it.
Yes.
Epcot.
You go.
Best bathroom, Norway, hands down. Best bathroom. I might even argue Norway's bathroom is the best bathroom in the entire park, like all Disney World. Worst bathroom.
I've been in Norway.
Bitch, that's because it's kind of hidden. It's on the backside, so when you're walking up to the north,
pee when I go to Norway. Anyways, yeah.
But it's kind of hidden. When people go to the Norway Pavilion, they go up where the Frozen ride is at, but it's on the other side, and it's literally huge. They dim the lights in there. The air conditioning is always blasting. It is fucking A+.
You never have a warm toilet seat?
It's right by the Wandering Reindeer.
What, Nicole? I heard Kurt.
You never have a warm toilet seat?
Never. It's always fucking Arctic in there. Worst is Land Pavilion. It's terrible. Anytime I go into the Land Pavilion, I get diarrhea and I have to go to the Land Pavilion bathroom, and it's like a fate thing for me. Animal Kingdom, best bathroom, Pandora bathroom. It is very clean all the time. Air conditioning is great. Worst bathroom in Animal Kingdom is pretty much any other bathroom. They're all pretty horrible because Animal Kingdom bathrooms are set up in like the highest traffic areas. The one in Asia is horrible. The one in Discovery Island is horrible. They all suck except the Pandora bathroom.
The bathroom over in Dinoland USA is pretty good. The one that's like off to the side.
The one that's far back. Yes.
See, the one by Flame Tree I know is normally pretty busy, but it all like high traffic, but also like I haven't had an issue with the one by Flame Tree.
That one is the one I usually end up going to, and it's usually smelly. So I just avoid it. Okay, so I did 2. Let's go on to Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood?
Yeah, Hollywood Studios. Worst bathroom? Yep, Toy Story Land. Absolutely terrible, gross, disgusting. People are always like shitting on the walls in that one. The best bathroom, see, I don't think Galaxy's Edge does it for me.
It was
just because,
yeah, just theming wise, I liked the theming of it.
But now, with the social distance spacing, the line for Smuggler's Run always is like literally blocking those bathrooms, so it makes me want to blow my fucking brains out. The best bathrooms are the ones behind, attached to the Frozen theater. There are bathrooms that are literally attached to that building that no one can find because they're down like two sets of stairs. Or the bathrooms in Muppet Land that's attached to Pizza Rizzo. Those are like tied.
The one where I overheard the phone call happening in the stall.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. That lady in her phone call.
She was having a full-on like
speaker.
scream fest in the bathroom stall next to me, and I was like, oh my God, I wouldn't want to be on the other line.
Yep. And then last, Magic Kingdom. For me, I'm going to disagree with Nicole. To me, any bathroom in Tomorrowland is horrible. Even the one in Tomorrowland Terrace, like, somehow people trash it. And obviously, you guys all know my vomit story. Best bathroom for me is the one attached to Gaston's Tavern. They play, like, this beautiful, soft, like, Beauty and the Beast music. Always chill on blast. And it's always usually peaceful back there because they have like water fountains if you need to refill your water bottle. Not a lot of people go back there. It's just a primo spot.
See, and I feel... sorry. No, go ahead.
And I will say, I just thought of actually a worse bathroom. It's the one in Storybook Circus right across from the kids' playground. Mm-hmm. It is literally disgusting in that bathroom.
Shocker.
Anyway, go ahead.
I was just going to say to take Nick's word on all of these bathrooms because she's at the parks like every day of the week. So
pretty much. And I think though, like, it depends on when you go, like, with the like, I go so much, I get the overall average experience of these bathrooms where like you could have gone one time 1 month and had a great experience and gone 6 months later and had another pleasant experience, where me, it's literally like every fucking day I'm in these goddamn bathrooms. That is a good therapy session because I think, like, with anxiety, as we've all learned, like, having anxiety means you go to the bathroom a lot. And just kind of like knowing what bathrooms are typically safe to use and on a good day typically would be like a safe harbor with like the air conditioning, your own stall. You get literally your own space inside of a bathroom unless a kid is peeking underneath the stall.
God.
Yeah. So that's a good one. Do you have anything else to add of like bathroom anything?
I don't think so. It was just I wanted to talk about bathrooms today. Because I didn't really, I've hit on my big therapies for now. I don't have any super specific ones at the moment.
I mean, Nicole, there are some good ones that I can think of for you that your next therapy session's around. We're going to have to brainstorm because there are really good ones that you're missing out on. Yeah, like the time you literally like fucking like dropped to the ground in Hollywood Studios. A good one. The dessert party where you ate so much cheese. Yeah, there's so many. We'll discuss this offline, and Nicole will come
so something
back
to look forward to for everyone else is my trauma.
Yeah. Her story is not over quite yet.
She lives to continue the tale.
Literally. Yeah. Nice. All right. Great. Thanks for that. I didn't realize I could think of bathrooms that quickly, so that's now a skill that I have.
I'm glad I could.
Do we want to hear any Disneyland bathrooms?
Yeah, let's fucking hear Disneyland bathrooms. So let's just
I would say the worst one in Disneyland is the one right by, right as soon as you walk into like Adventureland. Nick, you know which ones I'm talking about. It's the ones that you and I always ended up. And they're the smallest bathrooms in the entire world.
And getting out of them with that flow of traffic. Oh, no.
It's terrible.
They're
And there's
bad.
only like, there's like 2 stalls. And in the men's restroom, there's like maybe a urinal.
Yeah.
But like, it is the worst and most heavily populated bathroom I think in any Disney park I've ever been to.
Yeah, they're rough. Oof.
It's bad.
Oof.
It's bad. The best bathrooms though, style wise, I have to agree with Nicole for Disneyland is Galaxy's Edge. Just because the water's warm at night. The water's warm, so it's not like freezing water that you have to wash your hands with. That's like the only perk. And then the best bathrooms, if you got a little poop and boom.
Yeah, it's a toot and boom.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, boom.
Toot and boom is the Alice in Wonderland bathrooms that are like on the pathway from the hub into like Small World, like courtyard. It's like right behind the Alice in Wonderland ride. But they're like tucked away to the corner. They're themed after Alice in Wonderland, which is like a bonus. But there's not a lot of people ever in there because they're like kind of off the beaten path. And it's not in like a congested area. So that's like my go-to bathroom if I got a toot
So
and boom.
now when Kurt's in the parks,
fair.
when it opens again, if you ever want to see if he's in a if he's
go
if he's
to the Alice in
partaking in a toot and boom, check those bathrooms first. For any of Kurt's followers.
You know what? Hey, whatever, man. You know, everyone's taken a shit in a Disney park, and don't you fucking act like you
Absolutely.
haven't. No, I'm not talking about the 3 of us. I'm talking about
No,
even us listeners.
Everybody, like when your diet at Disney consists of sugar and carbs, all you're gonna have is diarrhea.
And no water,
and no
that's
water.
constipation,
And
my dude.
and
That
no
is
water.
deer and bunny poops.
You know what other bathroom I just thought about that is also very underrated is the bathroom right to the left of Launch Bay in Hollywood Studios behind the Ariel Theater. Because they're fucking like tucked back there and no one fucking knows there's bathrooms back there.
I don't
I
fucking
had
know
to
where
shit
anything in
my
Hollywood
pants
Studios is.
so bad.
I remember
I
you
missed the Ariel show
show
because I got stopped by the Kylo Ren processional and I Snapchatted. I know. This was before I had seen Star Wars, so I was like, these space monkeys best get out me way because I'm gonna poop my pants. And like you had to like stand still. They were like, I could see the bathrooms right there, and Kylo Ren was right there with his lightsaber, and he was like, "You shall not poop." Like, he didn't tell me not to poop, but like he told me not to poop.
He definitely
Those ones
did.
were really
Yeah,
nice
he did.
though.
He did.
Nobody
Yeah,
does.
because no one fucking goes back there.
Yeah, I agree. That was good. Good therapy session. Let's head into our coping session. And Nick, that's you this week.
All right. I'm so excited to be talking again.
Give us some coping skills.
Okay, so this is kind of like a hot take cope. So, my coping session is how to cope with going to Disney in a pandemic. So, I will preface this by if you are going to Disney and you're worried about coping to going to Disney in a pandemic, don't fucking go. Just stay home. That's my first little bit of advice is just don't go to Disney right now. And I mean that even if you're not trying to cope with Disney in a pandemic, like if you just want to go to Disney in a pandemic, like maybe just like don't. Then you don't have to worry about coping. You don't have to follow the rules. You don't have to wear a mask and you can just stay home. And it will make my life easier working inside the parks all the time and not make me crabby all the time. But on the backside of that, with that being said, it is also not my job to sit here and shame anybody for going to a theme park right now. We've all been through enough this last year, and I'm not here to like be on a high road and make you feel like an asshole. So if the first option is not an option for you, then let's actually go into actual coping mechanisms for being inside of Disney in a pandemic. So like the biggest thing for me of surviving being in a theme park in a literal fucking pandemic is listening to my body. And a lot of my anxiety triggers, health triggers, all of that, if you listen to your body and you are in tune with yourself enough, you can help yourself. So this first like point is kind of like one point, but it's just a whole bunch of different.
Yeah, as I'm thinking about this is a loaded fucking coping session.
It is. I tried to keep it to like 3 points. So the first thing is masks in general can be like an anxiety point to people. I'm not talking about maggots who refuse to wear masks and like are Trump 2020 assholes. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about wearing a mask, and we all know with anxiety, it affects breathing. It affects your ability to breathe, and having something covering your mouth when you're trying to breathe can be a bit of a trigger. It can feel a little trapping, and that has happened to me because I have, I would say, moderate to severe asthma. I have pretty severe anxiety, and those two things together, and it being hot in the park, is like the perfect cocktail of me like working myself into a panic attack in the parks.
And sweaty. You know, you get
and
like
sweaty,
that must.
yeah.
You get like that must mask. It's not
exactly. And all of those things can just really take your brain to funky town. So let's talk about literally, like, think about when you're having a panic attack. Like, that is funky town if I've ever thought of funky
whenever
town.
a panic attack starts, it's just gonna theme song it.
Go back.
I sense a new TikTok trend.
Yes, going to Great Skate in the 8th grade with them playing Funky Town, being on your roller skates.
Little did you know it was going to be your
brain will go.
adulthood panic attack theme song.
Literally. Okay, so the first thing is, if you feel like you are going to have pretty severe anxiety, while wearing a mask, whatever, if you have like asthma or not or whatever, just, I know it can be triggering. So biggest thing is find relaxation stations. If you need to do like a lap around the park and find all of your like exit points for these relaxation stations, do it. If you haven't been to the park, a relaxation station is a place where you are allowed to go and take off your mask safely. You have to be very far from all other parties, but it is the one place in the park where you're allowed to take off your mask. So find those, use them. If I'm sweating a lot and my mask gets wet and it's like sticking to my face and I'm sucking it in as I breathe, I can still breathe just fine, but that feeling is almost like restraining to me. And it can cause anxiety. So sometimes I just need to go fucking sit in a relaxation station and take my mask off and breathe. So just do that. Catch your breath. Try and calm yourself down. If you can't, then leave. You know, if that's an option for you, then leave the park. But if you're able to calm yourself down, that's a great place to go. Okay. My second coping mechanism for being a person with some sort of mental illness, I'm kind of going with anxiety right now. I'm a person that I have the anxiety that it convinces me that I'm going to get COVID and that I'm going to die from COVID. So for me, being a person that works in the parks, it is really hard to manage that. And the biggest thing that I have come to terms with is no matter how many precautions you take, no matter how safe you are, no matter what, someone in the Disney theme parks are going to get in your bubble. They're going to be near you. They're going to touch you. Someone's going to walk past you without a mask on. It is inevitable. It's inevitable. So you need to get that through your brain that it's going to happen.
I referenced my therapy session last week.
Exactly. Like, literally. People test their boundaries. They break rules. And there is absolutely nothing you can do about it other than getting a cast member or possibly saying something to them, which if you have my kind of anxiety, saying something is not a thing that I feel comfortable doing. It makes me super anxious. Whereas I love going to the parks with Kurt because Kurt will literally like rip a bitch's, rip a Q-tip's hair out.
Don't try to cut me and my friends in line at Animal Kingdom Expedition Everest.
Yes. So Kurt is a great comfort person, but when I'm by myself, I don't have the courage to be, well, I mean, sometimes I'll be like, wow, you're a fucking idiot. and I'll like say it and walk away.
I'm just like, if you're being rude, I'm gonna call you out for being rude, because I mean, I said this last week. I don't consider myself a rude person. I feel like especially being from Wisconsin, I feel like I'm a very nice and polite person. So if you're gonna try to cut us in line, or if you're gonna be an asshole and like take your mask off or have your mask below your nose and stand right next to me, I'm gonna say something because you're being an asshole.
Sure. Where I'm a person, like, if someone hurts someone I care for, like, if we were in the parks and, like, someone pushed Nicole down, like, I would literally, like, fucking bash their face in. Or if someone hurts somebody else. But when I'm by myself, I am, like, such a timid little bitch. Like, I don't care if someone hurts me. I care if someone hurts someone I care about. So that's why I like going to the parks, even though I've only been to the parks with you guys only so many times. But I love having, like, my group because you're safer. Like, also when you're by yourself, especially if you're a woman, like, you don't know who's going to try and follow you after you've done pissed them off or done something. So with all of that being said, if you're non-confrontational and you just are really worried about it, the biggest thing that I do is get tested. That is the biggest anxiety clearing action that I can do. Is I literally probably have had over 20 COVID tests, maybe more than 20, honestly. When I was going to the parks all the time, I was getting tested 2 times a week, if not, no, I never went over 2 times a week. But getting that test back and just knowing that I don't have COVID, like, if you're traveling, get one before you leave, get 2 before you leave. When you get home, get one when you get home. There's an option to get COVID tests here. In Florida, you don't have to be a resident to get a COVID test. If you need to get one mid-trip, go get one. That is a huge anxiety relief for me. Another thing is go with a group. You can take up 2 social distance markers in line. That gives yourself an extra barrier of not letting people touch you when you're in line. Don't go on rides with long wait queues. Or vehicles that have more than one party, like that sit in one car. Do not do indoor dining. That will increase your chance of getting COVID tenfold. Yeah, and then I guess the last part of that is just tell yourself you are going to a theme park. You are putting yourself at risk. You need to tell yourself and let yourself be okay that you are putting yourself at risk. And if you get COVID, you're going to get it. You're going to quarantine, and likelihood you're going to be okay. But that's all you can do. And last, well, I guess it's not, there's like 2 parts to my lastly. The first part is, we say this during every fucking episode. I swear to God, if you don't listen to me by now, I don't know what to tell you. Do your research. Do your research before you go to the park. Find out what masks are allowed. I watch a lot of people have anxiety when they go up to get into the park and they're told that their mask isn't a correct mask. Do your research. There are like 1 kind of mask you're allowed to wear in the park out of all of the variations. It is the double fabric around the ear, covers your nose and chin. No vents, no gaiters, no anything else. Do your research that your mask is the right mask. Next thing, research how to do a park reservation. It's different from Disney even a year ago. You have to have a park reservation and a park ticket. It's different. I don't know why I'm so aggressive. It's fine. It's fine. I'm like getting really heated right now. Okay. And very lastly, this isn't really a way to cope, but this is me threatening you. Be fucking nice to cast members. Be nice to cast members. Let's all say it together. Be nice to cast members. Kurt didn't say it.
Kurt's an asshole.
I didn't.
It's fine. Because I don't care what mental health crisis you have or you're going through or disorders you have, the one thing you can control is your kindness. And no matter what you're going through, whether it be, it doesn't matter.
Cat piss in a suitcase.
You need to remember. Exactly. You need to remember to be kind. These are the people at the park probably having worse anxiety than you are every single day about getting COVID. And they're going to be the ones who respond to your mental health crisis, that respond to you having some sort of medical emergency, that are there for you to help you remember the rules, to help you get through the day. And if you're a dick to them, I will fucking punch you in the face.
She's got her
Literally.
bop fist
So
up.
treat cast members with respect. Yes.
Don't bop,
Otherwise,
bop.
you're going to catch these hands. I don't know why I felt the need to add that, but I do know there are some people that, like, when they get into their anxiety crises, they can get rude. And I know it's not the person's fault, but you need to remember, like, these people are literally putting their life at line for you to be there. So treat them with respect. And that is all.
That was good. That was a lot of ways to cope. I feel like you hit like all of them on the head.
Oh, God.
I think the only thing that I'll say in addition to that, I guess how I cope with going to Disney in a pandemic, because like, I mean, you said it. I'm not going to sit here and judge you for traveling during a pandemic because I've traveled during the pandemic. But I also feel that if you're going to travel, you have to be smart about it. You have to get tested. I personally get tested. I have 2 negative COVID tests before I leave, and I get 2 when I come home, and I quarantine when I come home. So I you just have to be smart about it. Wear 2 masks on the plane. Don't take your mask off on the plane, even if you have a layover, unless you can be literally alone. And I think the biggest thing that helped me when we went to Disney World this past September. One thing that really helped me was just I guess, like I said earlier, it's just kind of like my outlook on life. I am in control of what I can control. So anything that anybody else is doing is not my responsibility, and it's not for me to control. So if I see somebody who's not wearing their mask correctly standing, and they come up and stand right next to me, I have the power to remove myself from that situation. I don't have the power to force them to wear a mask because those are the rules. I just have the power to remove myself, and I have the power to let a cast member know. So just always remember that you have the power to control the situation that you're in. A good little free therapy tip for everybody is that if you get in that situation where you're like starting to have an anxiety attack or a panic attack, a really good thing to do is to do 10 jumping jacks, and it allows your heart rate to come up and you can slow it down, and it just kind of like lets your body know that your actions are what controls you and not the outside things around you. So yeah, I think that's kind of what helped me in September, and I think just what helps me in general overall with living in a pandemic.
Yeah, and I've calmed down a little bit. I did not mean to sound so aggressive in that whole section, but
I was like, as you're raging.
I needed to rage because I honestly, in the beginning of all of this, I wished that there was someone who wasn't like, I don't want to say babying my anxiety. Like, I wish there was someone literally saying all of this to me. Like, you guys would say it, like, you can't control what happens if you get COVID, like you're gonna get it, you're gonna get through it. But I wish someone would literally have been like, you're putting yourself at risk, you need to understand this, you need to accept this fact before you do something where you're putting yourself at risk, and then you just hold yourself accountable. And I just like really wish someone would have like backhanded me with all of this, because I've spent the entire pandemic, these 2 can attest to it, constantly panicking that I have COVID. Like, severely panicking that I will get COVID or have COVID or anything. And it has made this last year for me fucking hell. So I wish I would have had that backhand of been like, bitch, just don't act up and you'll be fine. Like, do what you can do and you'll be okay. And be a responsible human being. And, that's all. Yeah. I promise that if I was in the park with you and I saw you having a panic attack or an anxiety attack, I would not come up and start screaming in your face. I would help you if you needed help, and I'm very nice and motherly, and I wouldn't curb stomp you or anything, but
I would.
Kurt might, honestly. And Nicole would just run away. She would be like,
I
nope.
would stand there.
Nope.
Because I'm too nosy.
That's
I would
true,
stand
you
from
would
a
watch.
distance,
Yeah,
like behind
you
a
would
You would
bush.
just Snapchat their whole episode.
Yes, you would.
That's what I would do with mine.
all right, well, Nicole, do you have any coping mechanisms for going to Disney in a pandemic?
Not that you guys haven't already said, because I've just been
I feel
sitting
like we
here
touched
thinking.
base on like everything.
Well, and you
fucking
guys
breathe.
are the ones who are like, I know, Kurt, your park isn't open, but like you're at downtown Disney, and Nick, you're in the parks a lot, and I live in Wisconsin. So
That's fair.
So I mean,
Fair.
the points that you guys have hit, like the traveling points, because I've traveled in the pandemic too, but like at this point, who hasn't? But I'm also very safe about it. I also get tested. I double mask on the plane. I find remote areas in the airport. I eat. And then I remask and keep my distance from everybody. And I've got really hard RBF, so nobody wants to ever sit by me on the plane. And it is phenomenal. So, yeah, that's about all I've got. It's the same. That was a big walk-around way of saying same. Retweet.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you're going to come at us for traveling during the pandemic, go for it. But also just know that all of our tests have always come back negative. So
But also,
go complain to somebody else.
you can't come at us quite yet because the hate mail email is not set up.
Right.
Because we don't have an email.
Right.
And if you do it on any other platform, it doesn't count as hate mail because it's not actually hate mail.
Honestly, I've been so passive aggressively bullied this entire pandemic. Like, really nothing you can say will hurt me about the pandemic anymore, that it's like, I moved to Florida during
From
a pandemic.
Wisconsin.
And, like, you really think I haven't heard it all? All right, well, I am fucking sweating like no one's business inside of this closet right now.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot to wrap up. Great therapy session and great coping session. And thank you guys for sticking around to the end. And thank you guys for sticking around to the end. Like we said throughout the podcast. Yeah, so make sure you follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all at Foreverland Fairy Tales.
But wait, we have something.
There's more.
We have something really exciting. If you've made it this far, you get an incentive.
We do.
Because we are doing our very first, as like magically unstable in Foreverland, we're doing our very first giveaway.
Yeah, we are doing our Foreverland 1-year anniversary giveaway through Instagram and YouTube. So make sure you head over there and follow us so that you can get all of our goodies. We have some pretty good stuff that we're giving away.
Yeah, we're going to keep it a surprise on the podcast for right now. But if you want to know more details, you have to go over to our Instagram, which is not magically unstable. Kurt said it earlier. It is Foreverland Fairy Tales. That's the name of us. And you can find out all of the rules for our really magical giveaway.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Where else would they fucking hear it?
All right, guys. So once again, I am Kurt.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Nicole.
And this is Magically
And thank you guys
Unstable.
for listening to
Magically
Magically Unstable,
Unstable.
episode 7.
Super unstable.
And we will talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a magical day.
Bye.